Imagine this. You walk into a room, any room, for the first time. It could be a bustling party, a tense boardroom meeting, or a quiet family gathering.
Most people see furniture, faces, perhaps a few conversations. But then there are others, a small fraction, who seem to perceive an entirely different layer of reality.
For them, the room isn't just a physical space. It's a living, breathing entity, humming with unspoken frequencies. In an instant, they grasp its subtle pulse.
They know, without a single word being exchanged, who feels utterly at ease in their skin, radiating comfort. They sense, just as swiftly, who is standing at the periphery, feeling a quiet pang of exclusion, perhaps longing to connect but unsure how. And most powerfully, they detect the invisible currents of influence, understanding who commands the room's gravitational pull, whose opinions carry silent weight. This isn't magic, nor is it some arcane trick. It's a profound, almost innate ability to read the intricate tapestry of human connection, to see the threads that bind and the gaps that separate. These individuals adjust, not with conscious effort or dramatic performance, but with an almost subconscious grace. Their every micro-expression, their posture, the subtle shift in their gaze, all calibrate naturally, effortlessly, to the prevailing atmosphere. This remarkable capacity, often overlooked because it rarely announces itself with fanfare, is what we call social intelligence. It doesn't typically look impressive, no grand gestures or dazzling displays. Yet its impact is nothing short of revolutionary, quietly changing everything around it. Consider the energy of a room. Most people, when they enter, bring their existing mood with them like a personal weather system. If they're buzzing with excitement, they tend to stay loud, perhaps dominating the conversational space regardless of the context. If they're feeling quiet or withdrawn, they often remain that way, creating an unintended barrier. But the socially intelligent person operates differently. They act like a finely tuned instrument, sensing the room's prevailing emotional level and instinctively matching it, not to mimic, but to align. Imagine stepping into a high-stakes professional meeting where the air is thick with anticipation and focus. The socially intelligent individual softens their approach, their voice adopting a more measured tone, their movements becoming calmer, signaling respect for the gravity of the moment. Conversely, at a casual social gathering where laughter and lightheartedness are the order of the day, they open up, their posture becoming more relaxed, their smile more expansive, inviting connection. They understand that true connection isn't about imposing your own emotional state. It's about finding common ground, about synchronizing with the heartbeat of the collective. Because without that initial alignment, without that subtle calibration, true connection, the kind that forms bonds and fosters understanding, can rarely begin. Beyond simply adjusting their own presence, these individuals possess a rare and subtle skill, the ability to make others feel profoundly seen, and they do it in mere seconds. It's not about lengthy conversations or grand pronouncements. It's in the quiet art of eye contact that truly lands, meeting another person's gaze with genuine acknowledgement, rather than letting it drift aimlessly. It's in the almost imperceptible nod that signals, "I hear you, I recognize your presence," or the effortless way they might use someone's name, not as a formality, but woven naturally into the rhythm of conversation. These aren't just pleasantries, they are powerful, ancient signals. They communicate without uttering the words, "I recognize you, you exist, you matter." And humans, at a fundamental, almost primal level, are deeply, exquisitely responsive to recognition. It's a core need. When we are recognized, we feel valued, significant. This is why people often find themselves feeling remarkably comfortable around socially intelligent individuals, a sense of ease they might not even be able to articulate. It's not a superficial charm. It's the profound comfort that comes from being truly, genuinely acknowledged, making the other person feel not just heard, but validated, often before a single substantive word has been exchanged. Furthermore, these individuals possess an uncanny knack for detecting unspoken discomfort. They understand that in conversations, words, while important, often convey only a fraction of the true message. The real narrative unfolds in the subtleties, the tone of voice, the precise timing of a response, the micro-reactions that flicker across a face. They are attuned to the hesitation that precedes a reluctant agreement, the forced, brittle quality of a laugh that doesn't quite reach the eyes, the sudden, awkward quietness that descends like a blanket, or the almost invisible tension that stiffens shoulders and tightens jaws. They don't just hear what's said, they feel what's unsaid. And crucially, they don't ignore these signals. Instead, they act. Before the discomfort can fester, before it can grow into full-blown awkwardness or resentment, they subtly adjust the conversation. They might shift the topic, lighten the tone, or change the pace, allowing space for the unspoken tension to dissipate. It's like being a meteorologist for emotions, constantly reading the subtle shifts in the emotional climate in real time, anticipating a storm and gently steering the ship away from it before anyone else even feels the first drop of rain. And in a world often fixated on the spotlight, where many feel compelled to be the loudest voice or the center of attention, the socially intelligent operate from a different paradigm. They simply don't need to be the focal point. While attention can be alluring, a dependence on it can be a fragile foundation. These individuals are perfectly comfortable existing outside the glare. They can effortlessly step forward and lead when the situation demands it, guiding discussions and providing direction. But just as easily, they can step back, allowing others to shine, offering support from the wings without feeling diminished. They can speak with clarity and conviction, or they can choose to highlight the insights and contributions of others, amplifying voices that might otherwise be overlooked. This equanimity stems from an internal sense of status, a self-worth that is not dictated or validated by external applause or the intensity of a spotlight. Their influence isn't sought through dominance, but emerges organically. And paradoxically, this very comfort with not being the center, this self-assured humility, often deepens their influence, making them trusted advisors and respected figures. Their power isn't about taking up space, it's about making space for everyone. This intrinsic security, this comfort in letting others occupy the spotlight, is precisely what allows socially intelligent individuals to wield a different kind of power, the power of truth delivered with grace. They understand that genuine honesty, while essential, can be devastating if wielded like a blunt instrument. Many confuse integrity with bluntness, believing that to speak one's mind, unadorned and unsoftened, is the highest form of virtue. But crude truth often triggers defensiveness, shuts down dialogue, and alienates potential allies. A socially intelligent person, however, possesses the delicate artistry of framing truth so that it can actually be received, absorbed, and acted upon. That won't work. It's a terrible idea. They might offer, I wonder if we might encounter some unforeseen challenges with this particular approach, perhaps in the integration phase. The message, at its core, remains the same. A potential issue has been identified. Yet the impact is profoundly different. One statement slams a door, the other opens a window for exploration. It's a recognition that acceptance isn't just about the message itself, but about the sensitivity of its delivery, about creating an environment where even uncomfortable truths can be processed rather than merely rejected. Imagine for a moment an initial team meeting, a crucible where new relationships are forged or fractured. You might observe a spectrum of social blunders playing out in real time, highlighting the critical absence of this nuanced communication. There's Mark, who, eager to demonstrate his analytical prowess, cuts off a junior colleague mid-sentence to emphatically declare, "That's been tried before. It failed miserably." His intention might be to save time, to share hard-earned wisdom,
But the immediate effect is a visible shrinking of the junior colleague, a palpable silence falling over the table as others exchange uncomfortable glances. He hasn't tracked the group dynamic, nor considered the impact of his dominance. Then there's Sarah, who, when asked for her input on a sensitive project detail, offers a series of hesitant ums and ahs before finally saying, "Well, I guess it's okay," her forced smile betraying an underlying unease that no one quite acknowledges. The leader, perhaps sensing the lull but unable to pinpoint its source, simply pushes on, missing the micro-tension, the unspoken discomfort that is now solidifying in the room. This isn't just a breakdown in communication, it's a breakdown in human connection, a series of small, avoidable frictions that accumulate to erode trust and dampen creativity. The room, once buzzing with potential, now feels heavy, slightly fractured, and no one quite knows why or how to fix it. But a socially intelligent person navigating that same meeting would be a quiet architect of inclusion and understanding. They don't just speak, they listen to the unspoken. They detect the hesitation before agreement, the forced laughter covering anxiety, the sudden quietness that signals a topic has landed badly, the micro-tension in someone's shoulders. Where Mark might have interjected, a socially intelligent individual would have waited, then perhaps gently redirected. Mark raises a valid point about past experiences, and it's important we learn from those. Perhaps we could invite to elaborate on their unique perspective on this, and then integrate Mark's insights to avoid pitfalls. They would notice Sarah's discomfort and, instead of letting it hang, might circle back. "Sarah, you seem to be weighing something carefully just now. Is there a nuance or a concern you'd like us to consider about this aspect?" They intuitively sense the emotional climate in real time and adjust their topic, tone, or pace before discomfort grows into resentment. They are master trackers of group dynamics, identifying the dominant voice, the harmonizer, the quiet observer, the potential challenger. They know who needs support, who needs to be gently brought into the conversation, who needs space, and who might need a gentle challenge, all without explicit instruction. They navigate people not with a script, but with a constantly updated internal map of relationships and emotional states. And when social friction inevitably arises, because interruptions happen, misreads occur, and timing mistakes are human, the socially intelligent individual doesn't freeze or ignore it, letting tension linger. They repair instantly, smoothly. If they've interrupted, it's a quick, "My apologies, you were just about to finish that thought. Please go on." If they've misphrased something, "I think I expressed that poorly. Let me restart and clarify what I meant." These are small resets, but they are profoundly powerful. They restore comfort, validate the other person, and prevent minor awkwardness from escalating into lingering resentment. It's an act of self-awareness and generosity, a silent acknowledgement that human interaction is a delicate dance, and sometimes a quick step back is needed to regain the rhythm. The cumulative effect of these seemingly small actions is transformative. Socially intelligent individuals consistently leave interactions better than they found them. After speaking with them, people often feel lighter, clearer, more valued, and more relaxed. This isn't the result of superficial charm or manipulative tactics. It's the direct outcome of the quality of their attention. They listen fully, not just waiting for their turn to speak, but genuinely absorbing. They respond precisely, addressing the core of what was said and felt. They respect boundaries, both explicit and unspoken. Their interactions are not draining, they are energizing. They build social capital, not by demanding it, but by investing in it, by consistently making others feel seen, heard, and understood. Ultimately, social intelligence isn't charisma that dazzles, or extroversion that dominates a room, or even a polished performance designed to impress. It is, at its core, a profound and active awareness, an acute sensitivity to people, to the nuanced context of every situation, and to the subtle yet powerful impact of one's own words and actions.
It is the ability to walk into that room, not just to understand it, but to gently, almost imperceptibly, elevate it. Those who cultivate this awareness, who develop this quiet mastery of human connection, become something truly invaluable. They become more trusted because their empathy is evident. They become more influential because their insights are delivered with wisdom and care. And they become more respected because they consistently treat others with dignity and understanding. This isn't a showy trait, but it is one that quietly, powerfully changes everything, empowering individuals to navigate the complex tapestry of human relationships with grace, effectiveness, and a profound sense of purpose in almost every area